I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. I'd like to welcome D-Rex. Hi!
But darkness rules fights the champion of light. When all hope seems lost, there is the guardian of the sacred mountain, champion of the high heavens. Yes, I am D-Rex.
Well, we're glad you're here. Thank you so much for being that champion. We appreciate it.
Thank you for asking me to be here. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely, thank you. So how long have you been doing the content creation thing?
So I started out in YouTube about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started being a VTuber streamer on Twitch at the beginning of 2025.
So what brought you over to this part of the thing?
I guess it was more of I needed a change of pace. I guess things were I was kind of feeling very stagnant. So like really one of the big things that first got me into content making, it was just I was in this kind of just routine of get up, go to work, go home, rinse and repeat, and it's like, okay, I need to do something a little more creative with my life than just going to work and going home.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what, let's give YouTubing, a shot.
Yeah.
See if I like it. And over time it evolved, and again I kind of found myself, kind of stale. It's like, okay, I need to do something different. I need to do something different than just, pre-recording whatever it was I was doing. And at the time, I vaguely remember hearing something about VTubing. It's like I heard it in passing, but I didn't really know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did a little bit of research. It's like the only VTuber I knew really was Gargura.
Uh-huh.
And again, I said I didn't really know a whole lot about it, so but I looked into it. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And I did a little bit more research, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna do it.
And so you gave her a shot, and was it how tough was it to switch over to doing the live thing as opposed to record it?
So I was already kind of a little familiar with doing the live. I did a little bit of that on the YouTube side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Though to kind of jump back quick to that last part about switching over to the VTubing sphere, I came really close to almost not doing this.
Wow.
Because I am I'm not gonna say a religious person. I'm a faithful person. I believe in God.
Right.
And I was just 2024 was just like a really rough year. I was going through a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was around August. As I was already getting stuff commissioned, getting the model ready and everything, and I was just kind of having I was starting to get nervous. It's like, oh no, this is dumb. I'm getting nervous. And I remember, praying to God. I'm like, God, if this is something that I should do, or this is something that you want me to do, you'll give me a sign.
Right.
And at the time, I came across this VTuber from HoloLive,
Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame.
Oh yes.
And I remember, back in April of last year, in like in a Xenoblade Reddit feed of all things, someone, because I'm a big Xenoblade fan, but anyway, someone posted, on that Reddit, Bloodflame, because her character, her design was very similar to that franchise. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But then when I saw that she was live, that it clicked, that memory popped back up, and I'm like, okay, let's see what this is actually about. Let's actually sit down and watch an actual VTuber.
Mm-hmm.
Because part of understanding something is to actually go and experience it.
Oh yes,
And
absolutely.
so I watched this. I watched her stream, and I was I was like, oh no, okay, no, this is interesting. I watched another one and then another one, and for the life of me, I wish I could remember what she said. But there was a stream, and she basically said something under the lines of, if you have an idea, if you have a dream, you'll you'll give it a shot because you don't know, what would happen if you don't.
Right, absolutely. You
And
don't you don't
and so
you don't make the shots you don't take.
mhm. Yeah,
That sort of thing.
and for me, that was like God saying, "Give it a shot."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so
So
and so I did it.
yeah, and has was it what you thought it was going to be, or did it take a while for you to get comfortable with what it turned out to be?
There was a lot of technical learning I had to figure out. Basically, I was going in completely blind. Really, I had really no one I knew to kind of help me, help guide me.
Right.
So, like when I first uh, debuted or whatever, it was basically anything that can go wrong did go wrong. I was
Mm.
having so many technical problems, and I was just like, "What is going on?" Is like the very first stream as a VTuber, it was just like, "Oh no, this is horrible," and I was really, again, really feeling really close to just quitting before I even really started. But it's like, okay, no, no, let's breathe. What's not working here? What's going on?
Yeah.
And so you know, I ended up creating a Twitter account, and I found like VTuber community pages and stuff like that. I was like, hey, I'm new. This is what I'm dealing with. I need some help. And that's a big thing though too, is don't be afraid to reach out if you have a question. If you're new to something like this, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for that help.
Right. Right.
And
That's
that's
true in anything you're trying to learn. uh,
yeah,
and that sort of thing. Because if you don't ask questions, how are you going to learn in the first place?
yeah. And the thing is, like, and I'm really, and again, like I was so nervous. He was like, okay, I don't even know anyone on Twitter, and of course, growing up, um, I heard some of the darker side of Twitter, and so I was very very cautious.
Right.
Just because, again, I was raised that way to be cautious on the internet, especially when you're dealing with social media and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I knew I had to, you know, put a little trust and faith, in order to, out there. It's like, hey, I'm putting trust in people to help me out here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's always uh, it's the entire internet itself is a chance to either get exactly what you want and enjoy and be safe and careful, or you can plunge yourself right into a big abyss.
Mm.
And it doesn't. Sometimes it just takes one click of a button for something like that to occur, and I can certainly imagine, um, being raised with a just don't there are sharks in the pool, that type of thing. Don't dip your toe in because the shark might get it. Um, but if you are careful enough and you go exactly for what you want, you should be okay. And is that kind of what you learned when you first started asking folks?
Yeah, and again, this is something a lot of this I was learning on my own because again, I didn't really have um connections as I have now,
Right.
and so it's like I had even I have had artists reach out to me, and again, still relatively new to this side of the content making. They're like, oh hey, I want to do this and this with you, which for me was a little off-putting because anytime I wanted something commissioned or whatever, I was the one who reached out, not
Right.
the other way around.
Right.
And there was a learning curve. It's like
Yeah.
With that, I had, I had to learn the hard way once or twice.
Mm. It's
But
unfortunate but true, especially with folks who are their first thing is to get customers.
yeah,
Yeah, it's you there they that's there's a reason why they're out there. I call it a section of marketing. Hey, did you really enjoy your stuff? I haven't done anything yet. Yes, would you like to buy some art?
yeah. But yeah, no, but starting, since the new year, um, like where I'm at right now, I honestly didn't think I would even get it this far
Really?
in the first year.
Mm.
And I just gotta say, I feel incredibly blessed. That am I at where I want to be? No, but it takes time, and everyone grows at their own pace. But again, because I was just like so insecure when I first started this, by like the third, fourth month in, I really had less than five followers,
Mm.
and I was feeling very discouraged. But it's like, okay, get into other VTuber streams, watch them, listen to them, see how, because that's the only way you'll learn, is like how to improve yourself, is you have to see how other people do things, take notes, see
Right.
how you can apply it to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there's so many incredible people out there who, have inspired me, and one of them is I don't know if you know who she is, but her name is Silent Bell.
I've not
Uh,
seen Silent Bell.
well, I gotta give her a lot of credit because she gave me that little nudge I needed to keep going, because this was close to. Uh, I'm sorry, I don't know if you can hear that in the back. One of my cats is
No,
crying. I'm
no,
sorry.
no worries. I've got 9 cats here, so and I'm
Okay, but
probably I'm
anyway.
probably used to whatever that cat is doing at this point.
All right. Well, it was about a month before Easter Sunday.
Hmm.
And again, I was in the point where I'm just thinking, God, what am I doing? This, nothing I'm doing is working. I've tried this, I've tried that. What's not working? Yeah. And at this time, I started following Silent Bell, and she is a Christian VTuber, which for me, that was like, wait, there's Christian VTubers? Because at that point, I always seen like Hololive and some of these other, VTubers who are on the more
uh,
risque side of things. If you ask, if you ask my opinion,
well,
but
yeah,
they're
yeah,
free to do, they're free to do what they want. That's their right.
right.
Um, but and I was just thinking, like, God, what am I doing? And God's like, hey, Silent Bell, right?
Hmm.
I'm like, yeah. Why don't you do? Well, she's see how she's bold about her faith, right? And so I'm like, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, why don't you try doing something? It's like, what do you want me to do? Well, Easter Sunday's coming up. Do a karaoke stream. And I'm like, excuse me? I can't carry a tune to save my life. And I was, and God basically, I keep having me say like a Moses moment where I'm trying to make excuses, and God finally told me to say, shut up and do it.
That's right. That's right.
I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it.
That's the thing is that
And
you're not going to come up with anything that he hadn't heard yet.
yeah, and so Easter Sunday comes. I am a nervous wreck, and
Hmm.
of course, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you know, this nothing. I'm like, is this gonna work? It's like, I don't know, if this doesn't provide fruit of anything, I'm probably just gonna call it.
Hmm.
Well, a, about an hour into it, because and this is the biggest thing I've learned as a streamer, especially on Twitch, is do not look at that viewer count,
Right.
because it is gonna play games with your head.
Oh yeah.
As like, just if you have to turn that viewer count off, do so, because for your mental health, it's gonna help you a lot to not look at that viewer count.
Right.
Especially when you're a new streamer, because again, it's gonna, like I said at the beginning, newer streamers, especially VTubing, because VTubing has got, I can tell, it's been saturated, ever since COVID happened. But so I said, you know what? I'm not gonna look at that viewer count. I'm here to sing, worship music. I'm karaoke worship music. That's what I'm gonna do. 5 minutes later, Silent Bell rated me, and she's like a very big VTuber. She's got like in comparison to me, she's got at least like triple the followers I have.
Uh-huh.
And I was so, to even have someone who I, who inspired me,
Right.
to have them raid me, it would just meant so much to me. It gave me that little boost I needed to say, hey, don't give up. Keep going.
That's a wind beneath my wings moment there.
Yeah, and it actually is funny. I went to this conference just a couple weeks ago called ReachCon,
Mm-hmm.
and while she wasn't there in person, I actually got to talk to Silent Bell, and I got to thank her for that raid, and it was short, but it was just really cool to get to talk to her. But
Right.
but anyway, back on topic. But yeah, just that little moment, it gave me that nudge to keep going, don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
and and that's one of the things that I struggled with. I'm struggling. I keep reminding myself, it's like, hey, don't worry too much about what other streamers are doing. Don't worry too much what your friends are doing, because everyone grows at a different pace.
Yep. Absolutely.
Some people who start out, some of them may grow really quick. Would it be nice if I had that type of success? Yes, but there are different factors in that. It's like, okay, one, how do they present themselves? How do you present yourself? Is that something you can learn from, or is that something that just doesn't work for you?
Right.
So you need to try to find, what works for you, and then what can you try to improve on.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's basically, you just got to keep trying and keep working at it, and you just keep going, because the alternative is just to say, I'm done.
Yeah. To give up completely, and you had a moment there where it's pretty obvious in 2020 hindsight that God got you the boost you needed at the right time.
Yeah, and it seems like it's like, and again, every time I've needed that boost,
Mm-hmm.
part of it was just leaning on faith.
Right.
And every time I was leaning on faith, God did provide. When I wasn't leaning on faith and doing it at my own merit, that was where the struggles were happening.
Right.
But it's like, when I am faithful, God will honor that. And just, again, those little nudges, it's like, hey, keep going,
Yep.
keep pushing.
Yeah. And when you're in a situation like that, it's always helped me in the past, and again, speaking for me and not anyone else on this planet, that you kind of remember the overall reason why you're doing things is to honor God and start in the first place. So
Yeah.
to do what you can, do good at what you're doing, or try to do good at what you're doing. Sometimes it just isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Like
And,
when
that was the funny thing, though, too, is because, like, like I said, right before I started VTubing, I saw the VTuber sphere, and I didn't really see any Christian VTubers. I'm thinking, oh well, I will be the first Christian VTuber, and it's like, no, there's already quite a few of those out there already. It's like, oh, well, okay, I'll just add more to the fire. Then I'll be another one.
That's right. That's right. Well, every VTuber I've talked to has got a different reason for doing it. Has different talents and different ways they go about things, which makes it the entire medium that much more interesting. And everybody's got their own dish for the for the for the campfire, that type of thing that they're bringing in, and that's a wonderful thing to have, and for someone to go in and see what quote unquote successful people are doing, and still maintain. You didn't sell out. you didn't say, okay, well, I'm gonna take this Christian lifestyle I'm living and set it aside to do this and then come back to it later. You can't do that. It doesn't work that way.
No.
And if you keep at it, and you're going to find an audience that comes to you. If you were to go on and try to not be you, and try to try to stray away a little bit, and and that sort of thing, it's just, first of all, the audience is going to realize it because you won't sound comfortable. And I'm sure you've seen VTubers or streamers that are just not quite not quite comfortable with what they're doing, and it makes for an uncomfortable experience all the way around. And secondly, you want to be true to yourself, and for you, being true to yourself is being a Christian VTuber. Stay to it.
Yeah, it's actually, I had a friend. I won't mention their name because I don't know if they'd be comfortable with me mentioning their name.
Mm-hmm.
But I was sitting in one of their streams, and they're okay. And here's the thing: it's like, it's because they're a Christian too, but their content really isn't really centered on Bible studies and stuff like that.
Right.
Well, someone came into their chat watching, and they said something under the lines of regarding their faith or whatever. They reached out to me, and there's like, hey, because I don't do Bible studies or whatever, does that make me a bad Christian? And it's like, no, it doesn't. And it's like, and again, it's like, just because that's not the center of your content, for you personally, that doesn't mean you're a bad Christian. Like, you've shown your faith in the little things that you talk about. That in itself, for you, that is more than enough. Like, again, for me, do I consider myself a Christian VTuber, or am I a Christian who happens to be a VTuber?
Yeah, there is a difference.
I say I kind of, and there is a difference. I would say, looking at my career so far, I would say at the beginning I was a VTuber, or Christian who was a VTuber, and I'm somewhat like in the middle, because I always start my streams with a devotional reading,
right,
and then a closing prayer at the end. But it's, again, unless there are certain situations like Christian holidays like Easter or even Christmas coming up here,
right,
where I'll do like a karaoke, a Christian like a worship karaoke. Outside of those little things I do, not really, but there have been other people who I've become friends with by entering this sphere of Twitch and VTubing itself, which, again, that was actually one of the big reasons why I wanted to get into streaming and VTubing, was to find friends. And I have been so incredibly blessed to have met a bunch in the Christian content and creator community.
Yeah, it's you can feel very without this particular medium, there would be a lot of people who would be very alone in one way or another. People getting a chance to find people who have similar ideas, similar tastes, and the opportunity to do that is much larger now, thanks to this particular medium. Whether it's always good or not is certainly out there, and you can find the bad if you really want to. But the fact is that now you have a potential group of people that the potential is massive for who you can reach and become a part of a community, which is pretty incredible when you think about it, considering even where we were 25 years ago. It wouldn't be possible to do something like this now.
Yeah, it's like if you were to, 20 years ago, you were to tell, a little younger me, it's like, hey, you're going to be doing this when you get older. I'll just be like one, I won't be able to understand what you're saying because I was still relatively young.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I'll be like, what are you talking about?
Well, I can tell you this too. Back when I started the radio, it was the mid '80s, and certainly I wouldn't be able to talk to people around the world where you could understand what was going on, and it wouldn't cost the national mint to go on for any period of time. The world has gotten bigger and smaller at the same time, which is an excellent way to spread a message. The question is going to be, what is the message? At times, do you feel that by going on and being not just a Christian who is a VTuber, but a Christian VTuber, that you are just like your model, you are basically taking up the sword in trying to combat what's going on out there?
I guess one of my objectives as time has gone on, it's like I just want to be this is somewhere where people can get away from the drama and just the chaos that's happening in the world. Just like even if it's just for 5 minutes,
Right.
Even if they just come to watch my stream for 5 minutes, 10 seconds, whatever it is, just so they can get a respite from all the just negative stuff that's happening out there. They can just have a moment of peace, even if it's just for a few seconds. That's for me. That's kind of the thing I want to bring to the table is just like, hey, this is a safe space. This is a place where you can relax. If you need to vent, you can, talk to me in the chat. I mean, I've had a couple people who I become friends with through my chat, who I've even, we got to a point I could trust them so much, and a friendship was formed that I made them mods. And I even had one of them reach out to me a few times, like, "Hey, this is what I'm going through, this and that." And it's like, for me, I feel incredibly honored that these people trust me enough to come to me and ask for help,
right,
or just be an ear for them so that someone is listening to them. So that's basically really what my goal is just to be a safe spot somewhere you can just relax. If if you just want to lurk in the stream, that's completely fine. Or if you want someone to vent to, that's what I'm there for.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times growing up, I didn't have that.
Right.
I really didn't have a whole lot of people around me that I could go to, or I felt comfortable or trust enough to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I want to, hopefully I can be that type of person that can be trusted enough that people can come to me for guidance or whatever it is.
Yeah, I've talked with a few folks who became pretty popular Christian broadcasters over the years, and work with a lot of them. I'm thankful for that, and I'm very blessed to be able to say that. And we've talked a bit about something called that I refer to as believable Christians, where it's not the greatest or easiest concept to bring up, but people who are Christians but aren't, super pious or over the top, unbelievable, um, where they present themselves in a way where you don't want to be anything that they are,
Mhm.
that type of thing. They the believable Christian to me is somebody who who shows people that, yeah, they're, Jill or Joe average. They're the person that you see next door, every once in a while tripping up and falling flat on their face trying to do some being.
Yeah, yes, someone who isn't this holier than thou
Yeah.
type of person. It's like, no, I'm a person too. I make mistakes,
Hmm.
but that doesn't prevent me from, just doing my best to be better, to follow the teachings of Jesus
Yeah.
to the best of my human ability, and the areas I lack. Well, God's grace, it's like, okay, hey, you messed up. That's all right. Let's get back up,
Yeah.
dust off, and keep moving forward.
Yeah. 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 If we were if we were supposed to be perfect, we'd have been made that way. Um, that would have been. I mean, there wouldn't be any,
Well,
free
there would have been no
will.
reason for Jesus to die on the cross if
Right.
we were perfect.
Exactly. And it's a little bit um, egotistical to assume otherwise, I suppose. But it's just um, it's that sort of thing that there are a lot of people who have everybody has a different system of believing, whether they're in a part of a large religious group or not. It's where you create an inviting um, perspective of how Christianity is a part of your life that will affect other people wanting to be a part of it, or at the very least, not give them a negative idea of what's going on. Um,
Yeah,
Sometimes there. You don't have to move a mountain every time you talk to somebody. It's
yeah,
it's just.
and yeah, it's like whether you are a Christian or you're not. A lot. I think we get caught up is we have to make this huge impact
Mm,
to really make a difference. And like I know myself, I've kind of got caught myself in that train of thought. I was like, oh, I need to make this big impact. But in reality, it's just those little things. It's the
mm,
little moments.
yeah.
Like if so, like again, like I know that I just said it. Uh, I had someone in my chat who I become good friends with. One day, they were in my stream, and they needed to vent a little bit. I'm like, oh, like we can stop what we're doing. We can
Mm,
stop what we're doing, and you can talk.
yeah. 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 And
And
for some
yeah,
people, that's. I mean, I know that there's times when I'm like, I'm not the person you need to talk to about this
mhm,
particular topic, but I'll try to point somebody in the direction that'll help them out as much as possible. And there's just different ways you can help, and I've always had this weird Superman complex where I want to solve everything that people come up. It's like, yep, I'm going to fix it right now, but it's not going to work that way. But
yeah. Well, I think part of that is, this is just my opinion, but I think that's kind of like the man mentality
uh-huh.
is because generally traditionally speaking men we're the providers, we're the fixers, and stuff like that.
Right,
So like, there's a problem. It's like, okay, that's a problem. How do we fix it?
yeah,
It's almost kind of like an innate, natural reaction that we want to, kind of take charge
yeah,
and, try to fix something, but it doesn't always work out.
yeah. And it doesn't apply to doing things around the house. You can ask my wife about
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You want to take out the trash? Well, I think that's something I can delegate to you. Go ahead, hon. It'll take care of it. But the welcoming part is something that I think that doesn't always get across, and there are a lot of people out there who are hurting one way or another. Plus the idea there being a specific definition of what a Christian is and whether you're a Christian or not. To me, it's always been like, well, that's not up to me to decide. It's up to you and God. You're the folks who are going to make that decision, not me. I'm not going to
Yeah.
say, well, you're obviously not a Christian for doing this. Well, that's.
Well, I mean, there are certain things that define, at least I think, what makes there's someone who says who's a Christian, and there's those who are a Christian, the way they live their life.
Right, right, right.
But of course, at the end of the day, I can't tell someone how to be a Christian. I can't tell someone, why they should be a Christian. It's more so, this is the reason why I'm a Christian.
Yeah, yeah, and then lead by example.
Yeah,
yeah. That makes a lot more a longer lasting, occasionally than coming up with a particular Bible phrase on the spot. Sometimes, I mean, you don't know exactly what's gonna bring someone over to something like that. So when you are on stream and keeping in mind what you're trying to do, what type of games are you able to play and enjoy while you're doing it?
So I am a variety streamer, but usually it's when I start a game, it's like, okay, these are the games we're gonna go through, and we're not gonna do anything else until we get done with them.
Mm-hmm.
So like currently right now I'm going through Digimon Cyber Sleuth and Final Fantasy 14.
Ah. Okay, now tell me about the Digimon one, because people, of course, for a long time, there's like, oh, Digimon's the cousin we don't talk about for Pokemon type of thing. But it seems this particular game has really caught on to an audience now. What really draws you to it?
Okay, well, so the latest game that just came out is a sequel to Cyber Sleuth, which is called Time Stranger. I haven't gotten to that game yet because I'm still going through the first one. But for me, growing up early 2000s, you had, 4Kids TV, you had Pokemon, you had Yu-Gi-Oh, you had Digimon.
Right.
Between those three, Pokemon just became the more popular one because of a little yellow rat.
Electric rat.
And listen, any Pokemon fans, this isn't dissing on Pokemon. Pikachu is a wonderful character, but
he's an electric rat.
Yeah, he's an electric rat. But Digimon, honestly, I can't really tell exactly what it is about Digimon that I like. Part of it was, a couple friends of mine were streaming Cyber Sleuth on their streams, and it's like, while it's fun watching it, what would the experience be like playing the game?
Right.
And so I went on Steam, I got the game, and for me, it's just going through the game, seeing little callbacks to the original Digimon show, and even seeing the Digimon evolve into their other forms. It was just bringing that nostalgia back. From my childhood, it's like, oh, Agumon, he's Greymon now. And I'm a big Agumon fan, more particularly, specifically War Greymon. I'm a big Dino. I was a big Dino and Dragons kid growing up. Knights and stuff. So I had this dinosaur-like character in armor, and he can slay dragons. And it's like, what's so cooler than that?
Yeah, let's go. Let's ride.
And right currently, I'm going through those games.
Yeah.
Just because I'm having a couple tech issues of my game capture, because originally I was going through the Xenoblade series, more specifically Xenoblade X, but because my game capture isn't working for my Switch, I had to put that on hold. It's like, okay, let's let's pick a different game until I can get that problem fixed.
Right, right. Yeah, the old equipment problem is always is is one of those bugaboos you're just gonna have to deal with as you go.
Yeah, well, I kind of made the mistake of taking my PC to Geek Squad.
Oh no.
Um, Again, at the time, I wasn't as connect, or I shouldn't say that. I was when I joined the Christian community content creator sphere. I was still a little shy about interacting with people.
Hmm.
It took a little bit for me to warm up and be a little more open to up to people. But like, well, what happened to your PC? Well, I was having this issue, and so I took it to Geek Squad, and now this isn't working. They're like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's like it's one of those. Yeah, I hate to tell you, but it was
But
that was the one place you probably shouldn't have gone.
yeah, but and hey, if anyone watching this, if you work at Geek Squad, please don't take it personal. It was just my experience.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people who work at Geek Squad who generally do their best to help customers, but my experience, it just wasn't a good one.
Yeah. Well, there's just some places where it's just that's just the way that they work is get in, get out, that type of thing, and one size fits all solutions, which is never a particularly good philosophy, but it certainly gets things done faster, and you get more people in and out, um,
Mhm.
that sort of thing. But with all of this, and with what you've been able to do at this point, and how far you've been able to come, and how you've been able to fully embrace um, being D-Rex. Uh, have you got any goals coming up? Have you got any big events that you're looking forward to?
I guess for me personally, uh, one big event I guess I have planned is bringing my mother on stream
Ah,
for a Christmas karaoke.
yes.
Um, I need to follow up with her on this because uh, I'm sorry, my mom. I love my mom, but she thinks what I do is a little weird.
Oh, well, she wouldn't be a
But she's
mom if she
like,
wasn't.
she's like, I don't understand what it is you're doing, but if you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
But like, it's like, hey, like, no one will see your face, but would you like to do a karaoke stream with me? And of course, she looked at me as if I grew a second head. But she said, sure, she'd be up for it. So I just got to touch base with her. But the idea is to do a karaoke stream for Christmas
Mm.
with my mom and even possibly have a Q&A session. It's like, hey, if anyone wants to ask Mama Rex any questions, floor is
Oh.
open. And I know that's a dangerous line to be walking.
You're going in. You're diving in the lava without a swimsuit here.
Hey, you gotta do it for the content.
That's right.
But then I guess a major goal though for me is try to get viewer engagement. I guess
Right.
is
Right.
just because again, if people just prefer to lurk, again that's their thing.
Right.
But for me, it's I want a goal is to build that community that basically that just a relationship, a dynamic where I can talk back and forth with people. That for me, that's the main goal. The follower count really that's not my interest. My more interest is just that community and engagement. It's like, okay, how can I improve myself to encourage that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and honestly, and I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure out what I need to do. If it's more of just be patient, and it will come,
Yeah.
then so be it.
There you go. D-Rex, thank you so much for coming on. It's an absolute pleasure talking with you, and I think you got the right setup and the talent and the want to and a good head on your shoulders, and you're gonna be able to enjoy this for a long time and keep bringing people over to the right side of things. I wish you all the best, and anything I could do to help from this end, let me know.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for reaching out and asking me to partake in this.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.